button out if you want to show them.
We aren't there yet.
Huh?
We aren't there yet.
Oh, okay.
I know, I'm so mean,
Okay.
aren't I?
Okay.
All right, so a couple of other little bells and whistles here. If you hover on, here is my favorite sentence. If you hover on the map pen or hover on the chiclet,
The chiclet.
hover on the chiclet, I'm a native Texan, I can't not make that 9 syllables. So if you hover here, you get this little kind of pop out menu.
Uh-huh.
And then again, you can come down and do a couple of things there. If you click the little thumbnail photo, it opens the photo gallery where I can see all the rest of the photos in the largest possible size. And then down below, again, you've got a series of icons. If you hover on the icons, then it'll tell you what it is. The report, quote unquote, means agent full, buyer short, buyer full photo, those types of things. Right next to that, again, if you hover on it, you've got a history report. Here's the one. Couple of times, I've already told you not to use the back arrow. Here's another thing that I'm going to tell you not to use, and this goes against your intuition, okay?
The history.
If you want to see the history of the property, do not use the history report.
Okay.
Makes
That's a no-go.
perfect sense, just because Marilyn said so, okay? If you come down to the second row, this little icon that looks like a piece of paper with a little pencil in front of it, the PAR. Property Archive Report. I don't know why they put the R and the report,
So
but
archive, the Y is that one.
the Y is that one. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta speak the
So
right
what's
language
in the
if you get
history?
right thing.
The history, I know, right? The history is a CoreLogic's or MarketLink's kind of standard report. It's just the history of the current MLS number mostly. So it tells you price changes and status changes and so forth, but just for that one
But the
listing.
report gives you
The
full
PAR,
archives.
correct, is an HAR specific that'll show you the entire full history of the property every single time it's been in MLS, including the current. So much better, more extensive report down there. So again, kind of fight your intuition a bit to not go to history for history, but you know. If there are attachments or docs, they're called in Tempo, a seller's disclosure, that type of thing. Attachments. It looks like a little paper clip. The picture of the camera right next to that is your photo gallery where the pictures are. The map is the map. The dollar sign is your
Does that give the
text.
documents too?
Attachments are, it's called docs in Tempo and attachments in Fusion. So yeah, if they've got a seller's
Like the
disclosure or,
seller's disclosure or anything that the agent puts in there.
correct. Okay, and then the dollar sign is your tax data sheet. So again, if you hover on those, it tells you what they do and what they are. I, again, am not a huge fan of chasing little pop-out menus. And also when you're first
you hit
learning a
that
program,
Tax, does the tax come up
yep, it'll open the Stewart title page that you're
until you substitute that?
correct.
Okay, got it.
Until we force you to twist your arm to change. Bless you. All right, so if I were to click that icon, yes, and remember it opens in a new page every time. So you've got to make sure you have your pop-up blocker allowing all pop-ups for Fusion. I, again, don't like chasing little pop-out menus. I kind of want to see everything all at one time, especially if you're fairly new to the program. It's kind of a pain, right, to hover on every little icon and try to learn it all, as I'm also trying to answer the question of my client on the other end of the phone. Okay? If you click this little magnifying glass, again, the smaller the icon, the more important, right? This little icon right here holds a lot of information. So if you click that, it takes you to what's called the full detail view of the property. Everything all in one spot. So everything that was in the chiclet is now in this menu down the left. So it's all written out. It's got the icon next to it, but it's written out. So I don't have to guess, was that the property archive, or was that the tax, or was that this, that, or the other? It automatically will put your agent full, or in this case, agent one page is what it's
And
called.
it divides the things too for you.
It does. It kind of breaks it all into different pieces, makes it a nice little, easier to kind of navigate, I think. Again, if I had a personal opinion, I might think it was easy.
When it prints out, is it going to be on one page? Or
It is.
Or is it
Hence
gonna
the
be on
name.
2 pages
Agent
like-
one page has been formatted to actually fit one page instead of that annoying little sentence that it's one little sentence that comes up on the second page sometimes when you're printing Tempo.
You've got to go over to print preview and then
Fix it
size
up and all that. Yep.
And it
So,
costs us a nickel.
and it costs you a nickel per. Oh.
You know how many of those?
So if nothing else, right? I just saved you like $40 a month, right?
Exactly right, honey. That's the way you talk.
Not printing that one
Of course, I
stinking
can't read it
page.
because The print's too small, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, but it won't be.
So this is, again, what we call the agent full, or in this case, it's called the one page. It's exactly the same thing, really, except for the big, giant, empty white space that causes it to overflow to a second page. have a question?
You just said something I want to clarify.
Okay.
You said it's exactly the same thing as the agent full intent.
Yes. Minus all of that extra white space at the bottom that makes it print to 2 pages if you missed that.
I got that part, but I had an issue with this about a year ago, trying to go with this system, and when I got into the house and I started looking, and I couldn't find the information I wanted because it wasn't right.
It should be laid out exactly the same as the agent full
And it's called.
and contain. It's called Agent One Page in the very top right corner. You can maybe barely see that little drop down. It's kind of tiny on my screen, but that's the that's the default report, so it should always take you to that one page.
Exactly the same as Timber, because I don't need to.
She's scaring me now. What if there's something different she's going to find me? It should be exactly the same. And a lot has changed in a year, so hopefully it's much improved. It's not intuitive enough to do that easily. So bravo for coming back to the class, by the way. So on this, again, you've got your agent remarks and your showing instructions and all that good stuff. Days on market, anything blue is clickable, so you've got all of that stuff. If you scroll to the bottom of this full page, then you automatically get to the photo gallery. If you click on the smaller picture over there, you get the bigger picture on the left. If you click the bigger picture, then you get the biggest, the highest resolution version of the photo the agent's uploaded. And it's kind of a little slideshow, so you can just flip through the big pictures from that point forward. Okay? And then also down below that are docs or attachments, as they're called here. So if someone has put a seller's disclosure or water district notice, those are right there. Also, you can just click the link over here on the left and navigate back and forth, up and down, through those different pieces as well. Okay. Here's one of some people's most favorite parts of Fusion. I had someone not too long ago call it the Narc Button. Rat out your friend button. This report a violation. Remember we kind of talked about the rules and regulations forms in the beginning just a bit. If you notice something here that you know to be breaking a rule and you want to report that to us, just click the button. It's like America's Most Wanted. You will remain anonymous. We will not tell others who reported them. We'll just try to fix it. We're not out to like make enemies amongst you or anything like that. We just want to make sure the data is as clean as possible. So if you notice the directions are wrong or the MLS area is incorrect or there aren't any pictures, which doesn't help anybody really so terribly much, right? Just click that report a violation, let us know, we'll take care of it from there. If it actually breaks a rule, then we'll go through that whole process. If it's something simple, then we'll often just resolve it on our own. If there's a typo, misspelled word, something like that.
No penalty, just correct it.
Often, sometimes, like if it's a misspelled word or something, we might not go through the trouble of contacting the listing agent and having to track that interaction and all that. We might just fix it. So, okay? Yes. We are finally to the point where I can give you a break. Yes, don't worry. You may now run away for 15 whole minutes.
Okay.